Hi, I'm Sundance DiGiovanni. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Major League Gaming, and I am here for the Planetside 2 Ultimate Empire Showdown.
So Sundance, you announced something really cool today, your partnership with Planetside 2 and how it's going to be an official esport.
Yeah, so what we've done is we've entered into a partnership with Sony Online Entertainment around Planetside 2 to work with them over a period of time to refine the competitive pieces of the game that work for esports. Because obviously Planetside 2 is a game of massive scale. It's a AAA title, it's a free-to-play, but huge scale, unlike anything we've ever seen before. So what we're going to do is we're going to work with them to pull out the pieces of the game that work at a more competitive basis, a little bit more manageable, break those down into experiences that we think that the community will really enjoy, and with a focus on how that turns into a competitive title over time, kind of a subsection of Planetside 2 itself.
Now they're going to be huge battles. I mean, you're talking like you can get to 300 to 300 on this match. How are you going to tackle that in the esports?
So again, the thing with Planetside 2, as you said, is 300 people versus 300 people on a continent. Well, maybe you can go to a battle island, right? Or maybe you can create scenarios where within Platoon there's squad versus squad competition where you're ranking the actual squads within the platoon. There's lots of things we're going to try, we're going to play around with. The idea, again, is to leverage what we've learned having done this for so long and to take what's available within the mechanics of the game and create an experience for the players which is going to be greater than what's currently available to them. The game as it is a ton of fun, and people are playing it. It's a high level of engagement. What we want to do is create a new experience within that focus for that core competitive player, where casual people can drop in, drop out perhaps, but the ones who really want to say, hey, who is the best in my platoon? Who's the best on the squad maybe? What is available to us? What can we create within that game universe that's going to be attractive to them and attractive to an audience to participate by being spectators or viewers?
What's one of the hardest things in MLG when you're trying to get a game into esports? Because we live in a different world now almost, where games are constantly being changed. There's constant overbalance, underbalance. Like, what are some of the challenges in accepting a game into the esports universe?
Well, patches are tough and tricky. But working with publishers and getting to a place where you can schedule those, right? Unless there are massive exploit fixes that need to go out. The challenge is it's a digital universe, right? All the things that give us scale and give us the ability to reach a global audience and remove some of the physicality of it, having to be in the same room, add layers of challenge. I mean, at the end of the day, you're dealing with the public internet. The public internet has been known to be laggy, but all those things, when you understand that the challenges and you're kind of prepared for them, you have contingency plans. And so working with SOE to be in a place where, again, we can build this out so it'll work at scale, but also work maybe in a more refined version for competitive players, it's going to take time. Again, this isn't tomorrow. We're talking, several months of back and forth, probably pulling community members into beta this subsection of the game. Again, we're focused on doing it the right way with them and taking our time. All those challenges, again, there are solutions to them. It's like sometimes baseball games have rain delays. It is what it is. You got to find a way through it and just try and get the best experience for the players and the fans that you can.
And esports in general is seeing tremendous growth in its industry right now. I mean, 4 years ago, it's gotten so much bigger, and people are taking it more seriously. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it's great. It's about time that people take esports seriously. We rival traditional sport in terms of having a young male audience, which is, for an advertiser, an attractive demographic to speak to. We're global. Our events can reach 172 countries. People tune in for an average of 3.5 hours during our event weekends, and you see almost 5 million people tuning in for those events. So it's big. It's bigger than people realize. But we still have a lot of work to do, right? Because it doesn't matter if it's the scale of it has got to be something which is not just sustainable, but where you're getting to a point where people are aware of it, right? Where it is something that can't be denied or ignored or not recognized. And we have that to the large part within the media buying world and with the game publishing world. But the traditional media world is still a little behind. But we have things in mind that we think will help with that a lot. I think we're going to be broadening out quite a bit this coming year. But again, it's slow and steady. We're just going to be persistent until we're at a point where we do rival the UFC or the NFL, where we are a truly recognized global sports media entertainment brand. Because that's the goal here. That's the end game here, to build something which is of that scale.
What do you think? What will be the big push for esports to get on a scale, like you said, to the NFL, NHL, or NBA?
Time. Again, persistence and time. The way I explain it to people is every year there's a whole new batch of 12-year-old kids, right, who are now more technically savvy than ever before and have been exposed to video games more than any generation of 12-year-olds before them. Those kids look for entertainment, they look for places to go, they look for things that are, they can engage in. And the longer we're in business, the more history we have for them to be exposed to, right? So they can see the superstars who, with checks and trophies over their heads, and the broadcast numbers and the articles that we have had in both gaming press and traditional press. And let's say, wow, I want to check this out. And that 12-year-old kid, 4 years later, is 16, and he's at a point where he's probably, parents are going to say, yep, you can go to an event. They can come out to an event and check it out and try and play or just be a spectator. So what we have to do is we have to build something which is stable enough and attractive enough to bring in new audience. The point is, I'm not going after the 45-year-old guy who thinks of, when you say video games, thinks of Angry Birds only. I'm going after the other end of the spectrum. I'm not trying to convert the masses that don't have any desire. If you don't like this isn't for you, fine. I understand that completely. I'm going to go after the next wave, because that's where the future is, where our growth is, not in the past.
Are you going to be rocking in the Showdown tonight at all, or are you just going to be viewing?
I'm going to be around viewing. I got a favorite, but I'm not supposed to say who it is. And I played with him a little bit, but I'm so busy I haven't had much time. But I'm definitely I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. I think there's actually some nerves from talking to the guys. Like, they don't want to embarrass themselves, so they're taking it really seriously, which I think is good.
It's getting to that NFL level where you have fans painting their bodies the colors of their faction, and they scream and yell and drink beer and watch.
Exactly. And the smack talk on Twitter, and it's interesting. I mean, everyone here is a good sport about it, but I think you'll see, as we get closer and closer, people getting a little bit quieter and a little bit more distant as they're preparing.